Prismatic Evolution is likely getting a restock or reprint from Pokémon based on their latest tweet on F. We understand that some fans might be facing challenges in purchasing Pokémon trading cards Scarlet and Violet Prismatic Evolution products at launch due to high demand and limited availability. We are actively working to produce more of the affected products as quickly as possible and at full capacity. Reprinted products are anticipated to be available at participating retailers as soon as possible. That might sound like an empty statement, but alright. Additionally, more products from the Prismatic Evolution lineup will be launching in the coming months. That's pretty cool. Pokémon is actually acknowledging a mistake they made. I've created several videos discussing who's responsible here. The investors, the scalpers, the shills. I've made numerous videos discussing who is to blame here, and in the end, it's Pokémon, and Pokémon just admitted it, so there you have it. Everyone who is like, oh no, it's these people, it's as if Pokémon openly acknowledged it, and they rarely admit to mistakes. They know they didn't print enough, they're working on fixing it, and you know what, major kudos to them. They really need to reprint this. They should print it extensively. I don't care if it devalues. I've already sold mine, many at a loss. Honestly, if they are indeed reprinting and it becomes available in local game stores soon, that's fantastic. I'm going to buy a lot from the distributors even if it devalues, because that might be what happens here. Then I'll sell them at MSRP and make about 30 or 40% profit. I'm excited, and I hope you all are too. Now, who might not be excited about this news, assuming Pokémon actually follows through? Probably those who ended up buying it for around $150 per ETB. In my last video, I mentioned that J Love is a big fan of the investors who bought the ETBs at $150 in ETB. I don't believe it was, because any logical investor isn't focusing on prismatic evolutions or surging sparks. Investors are interested in battle styles, vivid voltage, paradox rift, and obsidian flames. That's where their attention is. No sensible investor would purchase something at 4 to 6 times the MSRP. But that's a topic from the previous video, so feel free to check out the channel. Anyway, I'm genuinely pleased to. I really need to secure that. Anyway, I'm genuinely pleased to hear that Pokémon is taking action. The Japanese Pokémon card company made a similar tweet when Clay Burst was selling for $200 and Rule of the Black Flame was at $185. They tweeted something similar and followed through on their promise. It took some time, but eventually they reached a stage where they reprinted nearly every Japanese set to the extent that all the fake collectors, whom I also mentioned in my previous video, left. To the delight of Opossum Bud, who had been using the term fake collectors, pretending to enjoy full art trainer cards for the past 2 years. So once more, check out the last video. It's excellent. It's amazing. My point is, if the Japanese Pokemon card company can tweet and actually make things happen, I am confident that the English Pokemon card company can do the same. Now, regarding Prismatic Evolution in my store, we received 2 of our pallets from one of our distributors. We have another pallet and a half from our other distributor that's likely to arrive tomorrow or the day after. I scheduled the set to ship out of here on Friday the 17th, and many people will have it shipped a bit early because, as mentioned, I already have 2 pallets. Due to my mistake, some shipments may be a few days late, as I bought a significant portion of inventory at market price to fulfill orders, even at a loss. I had to buy a substantial amount of the inventory on TCG Player and eBay at market price to ship it here and fulfill your orders at a loss, but that's my own fault. The point is, it will take a few extra days because the TCG Player sellers and the eBay sellers need to receive it and then ship it to me. So, if you were one of our latest orders in the "we sold all of our inventory in 10 minutes, expect your tracking number a few days late." The people who ordered last were literally only 10 minutes after the first orders, so I will email you if this applies to you. I do apologize. This is entirely my fault, and even though I'm the good guy for not canceling orders and relisting them or canceling orders and just saying sorry, I am the good guy there. But ultimately I still messed up, so I apologize for that, and I assure you, for the record, this wasn't about greed. Typically I earn about 5 times what I pre-sold for Prismatic based on the last 10 to 15 releases. When everything started nearing a sellout within the first 10 minutes, I pulled everything off the market. Took a deep breath and hoped it would all work out. It didn't, but that's okay. You guys check your stuff. I'll have a nice tax write-off. We're good. The real question on everyone's mind now is, if this thing crashes, when will it happen? What are my predictions for Prismatic Evolution after this tweet from Pokémon? Well, I think it's going to take them some time. They say as soon as possible, which really doesn't mean anything because everything happens when it happens. However, I would suggest waiting a couple of months, maybe even a few. As mentioned in the tweet, there are other products on the horizon and many YouTubers are echoing this sentiment. they're claiming that booster bundles, 2-pack blisters, and surprise boxes are on the way. While all of that is accurate, it shouldn't give you false hope that prices will drop just because of these releases, as we vendors already have our allocations for these items. The numbers are equally disappointing for ETBs, posters, binders, etc., as there are no new products adding to the pricing equation. Anyone pre-selling booster bundles for around $80 or $90 is doing so because they know their allocation, and that number is utterly disappointing. So, even though we have all these other items arriving in the coming months, don't let that mislead you into thinking things will improve, as everything is already accounted for in the pricing. We all know how many we're getting, and once again, it's garbage, but I don't want to sound too pessimistic here. Clearly, we can be optimistic based on this tweet, so my predictions are that 3, 4, 5 months down the line, Pokemon will actually follow through on its tweet. They send a lot of stuff to big box stores. My distributors will start contacting me with inventory. They'll probably bundle it with other items. They might charge more than they did in the first wave. I'm not entirely sure. It will really depend on what they receive, but ultimately, MSRP is likely on the horizon, and in an extreme scenario, they produce so much of it that all the collectors decide, oh, this actually isn't that cool of a set, and they ignore it, and they turn their attention to Team Rocket and Journey Together, or whatever follows Team Rocket, Black and White, whatever comes next, and then completely forget Prismatic Evolutions exists. At that point, Costco will have it available on pallets. The wealthy individuals will purchase all of it. I will have access to distributor pricing along with all my other vendors and competitors. LGS stores that challenge me will check distributors' website to see ETB prices. They'll think, hey, it's just a price. Prices on TCG Player, not worth my time, in which case Brian will swoop in and buy 3 pallets of it, and then a few weeks later the LGS stores will be upset that distributors give me special treatment, even though they could have been purchasing it for literal months. So ultimately, what would I suggest? I would say if you're looking to make grading plays, you want to be the first to the market. Yeah, it's probably still a decent idea to buy it at whatever price you can get it at. You want to be first, that's what you have to do. You want to grade that promo card in the ETB. You want to find the Umbreon? Okay, well, you're going to have to pay up. If you're interested in rip and ship and want to join in, you'll need to pay up front. However, if you're a genuine collector, your main focus is getting the cards at a reasonable price. Based on this tweet, it seems like waiting might be your best option. There's a lot of great stuff available on the market. Nostalgianomics recently released a video. He mentioned that for those genuinely interested in Pokemon cards, there are countless options available at MSRP on the Pokemon Center's website. And on nearly every other website, prices are below MSRP. We have a large stock of items like the Paldea build and Battle Stadiums and many EX boxes. However, we no longer have the Cyclozar EX boxes, which became somewhat of a joke. I'm actually opening all these for the packs, and we've been selling packs rapidly, but no one seems interested in buying the Cyclozar EX box as a whole, so there's plenty available if your main interest is in opening packs. If you're interested in the latest trend, you'll either need to pay up or wait, and I believe waiting isn't a bad option now that we have an official statement from the Pokemon Card Company. Without that tweet, I'd be more hesitant to advise you because sometimes waiting can backfire, but we have the endorsement from the esteemed Pokemon Authority. I believe this will ultimately benefit everyone involved in the hobby, including the less reputable stores. Trust me, we dislike these high prices too, because if we sell at market value, we're criticized. If we make the mistake of selling below market value, we may end up regretting it when the market crashes, ultimately leading to our bankruptcy. We end up wishing we had made a bit more money on a set that everyone pretended to care about. If you're interested in purchasing my items, visit Pokeannie.com. We have Just a Chill Guy merchandise coming soon, and I'm serious about it. And perhaps a hair care product line in the summer. Stay tuned for that. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day. I need to go pack Prismatic Evolutions, baby.